Another jam-packed edition coming your way on Sunday morning on NBC and 11 Alive. And just like us, Chuck is also watching the interesting developments that are always going on in Georgia politics.
So much to watch here, including the ever-fascinating governor's race and that Republican primary, which is sure to be national news the next 5 months and beyond. Chuck joined Jeff Hullinger this afternoon to talk about all of it.
Former Senator David Perdue moving forward with his primary challenge to Governor Kemp, despite many Republicans who were hoping that this would not happen. Joining me right now is Chuck Todd, the moderator of NBC's Meet the Press. Chuck, there was a report from Axios that said a group of Republican lawmakers here in our state, in Georgia, wrote David Perdue asking him not to run. He has chosen not to follow that advice. How big of a rift now are we talking about inside the GOP here? And will it get even worse as we begin to, progress through the months toward the primary?
You know, Jeff, what's the most remarkable detail on that story that I've latched onto is how paranoid those lawmakers were about having any electronic copies of that letter circulating. It shows you the nervousness they had in looking like they were going up against Trump, right? That they knew what the right thing is, but the fear of, they wanted to send a message to Perdue. They thought they could be effective, but they didn't want to have any evidence that they were going up against something that the Godfather wanted, if you will, in Donald Trump. So, look, I think it's quite possible, Jeff, that Georgia ends up being a Republican outlier. That, I could very much see a scenario where Democrats want to celebrate Georgia because the Republicans, Donald Trump seems intent on burning down the Republican Party in Georgia one way or the other. And I don't know how whoever the nominee is, Perdue or Kemp, how they put Humpty Dumpty back together here in order to give a united front. Yeah. I mean, we've already seen what happened when Trump chips away at things in those Senate races. So, I don't know how bad the national climate has to be for Democrats, for Republicans to survive this infighting, but we're about to find out.
So Stacey Abrams, Senator Reverend Warnock here, what do they do? Just sort of lie low and kind of see where all of this goes? Is that really to their advantage and maybe the best strategy of all?
You certainly don't want it to subside, if you will. But I think it's certainly the best option that they have, and that's the point. I think I think Senator Warnock could be quite vulnerable, but the more this goes on, I think the better off he is. And that's the thing with a Kemp-Perdue primary, is that the Kemp-Perdue primary could have a lot of trickle-down effects. This could divide Republicans and cost them opportunities to win a House seat in the Atlanta area, plus the statewide offices. So conventional wisdom says when the other side is fighting each other, get out of the way. But I do think, behind the scenes, you goose it every chance you get.
Yeah, Meet the Press airs Sunday morning at 10 o'clock right here on 11 Alive. Chuck, thanks. Have a great weekend.